All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be taking out part two, or we're going to be knocking out part two of the EB set. It's just called the Extra Booster Memorial Collection set right here. EB-01 is what they're calling it for short, and we're going to be going over part two in this video of just doing the full spoilers, going over all the cards that have been released. So, buckle up. We're going to go ahead and knock that out. We got about 30 cards to go through. There were 30 cards in the first one, so let's just go ahead and knock this out. Okay, so we're going to be going over purple, black, and yellow in today's video. In the first video, if you have not checked that out yet, please go check that out. I went over red, green, and blue. Okay, coming out in the EB set. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so first up here for purple, we've got Khalifa, 5 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter. This is a Water 7 Galila Company type character. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people are instantly thinking, what's his name? Iceberg, right? So effect on play, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Water 7 type, add up to 2 character cards with a cost of 4 or less from your trash to your hand. Okay, that's interesting. You're grabbing characters that cost 4 or less from your trash to your hand. So I'm assuming, like, if you're going to run this in a Water 7, or excuse me, like an Iceberg style deck, this is probably pretty good for getting back your 2K counters and stuff like that. But y'all tell me down in the comment section below if I'm missing some kind of interaction here, because it says you can only add up to 2 characters with a cost of 4 or less from your trash to your hand, and it's on play Dawn -1. It's a 5 cost 5K, which is right where you want it to be at, right around where you want it to be at for Iceberg. So seems good. Pretty interesting though. Okay, next up we got the Khalifa. Oh, this is just the parallel alt art version of what we just saw. Very nice. I do like this one. I like this alt art version better than the regular, and I typically like the regular ones better. So very nice. Next up, we got a 5 cost, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter, vanilla character here. It's an animal impel down type character called Army Wolves. Nothing really to talk about here. Very nice. Well, I guess I shouldn't overlook it too much, right? If this is, well, no, excuse me. Yeah, this is just, never mind. It's a 5 cost 7K. I was thinking like Water 7 and Galila, but this is not. This is animal and impel down. So never mind. Okay. Next up, we got Bluno. This is a 4 cost 5K, 1K counter, Water 7. Okay. On play, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Water 7 type, play up to 1 Water 7 type character card with a cost of 5 other than Bluno from your hand or trash. Okay, so now if I'm not mistaken, you can only get Galila characters out with Iceberg's effect, right? Yeah, she was Galila. And I will look that up on the side real quick, guys, because I just have it over here on my my second monitor. Excuse me. Because I just want to make sure I'm not saying anything wrong, because I don't play Iceberg. For those who don't know, I do not play Iceberg. And this is what Iceberg looks like right here. This is the alt art version of it. It's a 5 life, 5,000 power, purple, Water 7 Galila. This leader cannot attack. Activate main Dawn -1. You may rest this leader and play up to 1 Galila Company type character with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So that's unfortunate they couldn't make this character a Galila one, so you could do like the super ramp like you're seeing with, because we're already seeing it in Purple Luffy, and Purple Luffy can attack as well and ramp from his life. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's too bad they didn't do that, but who knows, maybe there's like a really powerful interaction that I don't know about, and y'all be sure to tell me down in the comment section below. And as usual, guys, if I miss anything, please help me out down there in the comment section. Okay, next up we got a 3 cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter blocker from Baroque Works named Miss Wednesday. And this is a blocker, like I said, with on your opponent's attack once per turn, Dawn -1. Okay? If your leader's type includes Baroque Works, so we're thinking blue, purple croc, right? We're thinking purple crocodile here. Add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, okay, so even for yellow-purple croc, actually, I'm actually starting to lean more towards yellow-purple croc, because that turns on his leader's effect, and basically, when they attack, you'll be able to return a Dawn and add a Dawn as active from this character's effect, and then with your leader's effect, you'll be able to add another Dawn as active, correct? Something along those lines. So that will be very nice. Now this is a great 3-cost 4K blocker. This is, one thing that One Piece does is they try to make sure that every single color has access to the exact same effect, but with the flavor of that color, right? So this is like Purple's Dofi, the 3-cost 4K Dofi. That's a 1K counter blocker. That is a top 5 arrange, or a top 5, like arrangement. This is like Purple's version of that. We just looked at, I think it was oh gosh, I don't want to go back, but I think it was a green card we just looked at, or a blue card. No, I think it was a green. We will go back real quick. I'm sorry, guys, just because since we're already on this. Oh, it was red. It was Chopper. See, this is like their 3-cost 4K 1K counter. This is just a standard stat line that you can expect certain things from, and they do that all the time. Like that is a big thing for them, that they try to make sure every color has like exact replicas, but that are based in that flavor. So that's all we're seeing here for Purple. This is their 3-cost 4K 1K counter blocker. It's Baroque Works, and it has a very strong effect. Very nice, very solid. And this is the parallel alt art version of it. Okay, very cool. Next up, we got Miss Monday. This is a 3-cost 5,000 power, no counter, Baroque Works. On play, if your leader type includes Baroque Works, up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Okay, well, offensively or defensively, that is very nice, because it looks like the triggers play this card. Dawn -1 play this card. So if you get it as a trigger, your leader is going to be 6,000 power for the rest of the turn, right? Which is very nice. But the on play, just playing it offensively, is really not bad. Because if you're on the odd card, I do like to see it. I'm going to say right now, I like that this card is in the game. It is too strong to go second most of the time. Not always, but I feel like there's just too much of an advantage going second. And then like a card like this comes in and actually helps out quite a bit there, right? Because if you go turn 1 pass because you have 1 Dawn, or if you have a 1 Dawn Searcher of some type, whatever, like turn 1 pass, and then turn 2 drop this down. It's a 3-cost 5K, right on par where you need it to be, and you're going to swing 6 with your leader because of the effect. I'm a big fan of this card. I don't know how good Baroque Works is going to be, but I do think that this card is very nice. Okay, next up is Mino Chihuahua. This is a 4-cost 5,000 power Impel Down Jailer Beast card with Rush. Okay, very nice. So we've got more Impel Down stuff, guys. That's Jailer Beast oriented. This is nice. And it has Rush, and then on KO, if your leader has Impel Down, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Yeah, really big fan of this, and this will probably go very well we looked at this in the last video. I'm sorry, guys, I have to mention now because I feel like it's way more appropriate over in Purple. But we looked at the Hannibal leader coming out of the EB set, Impel Down, and this will be very nice with the Jailer Beast package, with Sadie and the whole Jailer Beast, all those shenanigans going down. Could be very, very good. I'm actually a big fan of that. Very, very solid. Okay, Mino Chihuahua. That's really cool. Next up is Mr. 9. This is a 3-cost 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, Purple Baroque Works character. Okay, on your opponent's attack, once per turn, Dawn -1. Okay, so I immediately feel yellow-purple vibes from this, the yellow-purple crocodile vibes, because of the way his leader action works, the way his leader effect works. Because this will just literally, instead of Dawn -1, you might as well read this as untap one of your, or make one of your rested Dawn active, is really what this means. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Okay, so that part's, it's better than nothing, right? This is definitely better than nothing. This will help take out brand news and 1 cost and 2 cost searchers, 1 cost and 2 cost blockers. This will help take those out. But generally speaking, I feel like 3 costs is kind of like the entry level you want something, if it's not already like a black card that can do cost reduction built in. But either way, this is a pretty solid card. It's definitely not bad, I'll say that, but it's also not some incredible card that I really want to play. So interesting, Mr. 9. Okay, next one. Oh Come My Way. This is a 1-cost event that has counter Dawn -1. If your leader type includes Baroque Works, select one of your characters. Change the attack target to the selected character. Okay, and then trigger Dawn -1, draw 2 cards. That's just incredible. So, guys, I have to say this. Excuse me. Excuse me. This seems really good. I'm just going to say that right now. If your leader type includes Baroque Works, select one of your characters, change the attack target to the selected character. This is purple, guys. So what you're going to be able to do with an effect like this, well, as long as your leader's Baroque Works, you're going to be able to redirect an attack to your leader. Like say they were attacking your leader, okay? Instead, you can have them target your Magellan, okay? That, guys, I hope you realize how powerful that actually is, because now you can mess up their Dawn for the turn. Like if they were playing, you know, smart, trying to play around any shenanigans and keeping all their Dawn active and making non-committal plays, and then they drop something like this on you and eat up two of your Dawn, that will be devastating. Absolutely devastating. I've seen this happen in a YouTube video from the East. People play testing this card. A very solid card. Okay, let's keep going. Conqueror of the Three Worlds, Ragnarok, or Ragnaroku. Okay, 5 cost. This art looks awesome. Just straight away, guys, this art looks absolutely amazing. It is a 5 cost purple, 4 Emperors, Animal Kingdom Pirates type. Effect, Dawn -1. It's a main, Dawn -1. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. This is huge. Trigger, add a Dawn from your Dawn deck instead of active. That's whatever. That main is insane, guys. That is so good. This is basically pay 5, KO target character, right? Because it's an 8 or less. That's going to hit everything in the game with the exception of, like, you know, 2 or 3% of what's out there. You know, just incredibly powerful card. Okay, next up is Kairos. This is a 5,000 power, 4-life black-yellow leader. Okay, this is a new Dressrosa leader. With activate main, once per turn, you may turn one card from the top of your life cards face up, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. So right away, I'm leaning more towards like an all-black deck for something like this. I even just recently did an interview with this guy named Mo. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already checked it out. We talk about black yellow, we talk about this leader, and if you're going to build this leader like effectively, or at least to the best of your ability, you're probably going to want to build in like not mono black, but primarily black, where you have tons of cost reduction because your KO is already built into your leader. Some yellow would be nice, like, you know, something like a Yamato, you know, something like a Yamato, something like Katakuri to get life back. But generally speaking, you know, this card's going to have all the KO you probably need built into it. So just make sure you have enough cost reduction to get it going. But yeah, I think this leader is excellent. I just don't think it's... I should say I think this leader is very good. We'll have to see if there's more of a Dressrosa list going on or more of like a Navy list. It's really going to depend. It's going to be hard for me to give up Black Yellow Linlin, though, for this, because Black Yellow Linlin can gain a life every turn. It's just that simple, and it can run one of the most powerful characters in the game in the 10 Lin, so in the 10 cost Linlin. So yeah, but solid leader. Awesome alt art, one of my favorites. The alt art in this set for the leaders is incredible in my opinion. I know it's like it's all about, you know, personal preference and like whatever, but I'm a big fan of the alt art in this set. Okay, next we got Crocus. 6 cost, 8,000 power, 1,000 counter, black character, former Roger Pirates. Yep, just vanilla, solid. Scarlet, I have talked about this before on the channel. Scarlet is a 2 cost, 0 power, 1,000 counter, black Dressrosa type character with activate main. You may trash this character, play up to 1 Dressrosa type character card with a cost of 3 or less other than Scarlet from your hand rested. Then give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost for this turn. Just so everyone understands, I have checked the ruling on this. You can play out Kairos, and before Kairos's on-play effect resolves, you have to finalize this effect. You have to give out the -2 first before moving on to another activated effect or on-play effect in the case of like Kairos. So this literally basically reads, your Kairos comes into play for 2, right? 2 Dawn, and KO's a 3 cost or less, or Leo as well. You could use Leo with it if you need to. Very, very powerful card in Dressrosa. Next up is Spandine, not sure how to say it. It's a 3 cost, 2,000 power, 1,000 counter CP9 card. On play, you may place 3 cards with a type including CP. I hate when they do that, but whatever. From your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. And if you do that, you can play up to 1 character card with a type including CP and a cost of 4 or less other than Spandine from your trash rested. I am never. I understand they do this for balance purposes. I get it, but I'd rather than balance a card in a different way, because this, when you limit it to a certain deck, it just, oh man, it's annoying to me personally. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, it says you may place 3 cards with the type including CP from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then you'll be able to play a character with CP in it that costs 4 or less other than Spandine from your trash rested. So I'm thinking like right away, like Kumadori, that's like my first thought. Khalif is a 2K counter, you'll be able to draw 2 trash to into a -2 to a character. And then even Fukuro. Fukuro's a nice 3-cost blocker. Yeah, this card's solid though. Very, very solid card, I will say. Okay, next up is Funk Freed. This is a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1,000 counter CP9 character. Activate main, you may rest this character. Up to one of your Spandam characters gains plus 3,000 power during this turn. I am at a loss for words. I have no idea why this card is printed. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't even know how else to say it, guys. I'm just not a fan of this card. Like, okay, yeah, you'll make this your Spandam stronger. Maybe they'll print more Spandams in the future that are different, and then it'll be powerful. But as is, I don't understand. Someone explain to me in the comment section below if I'm missing something. Okay, let's keep going. Next up is Brook. This is a 3-cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, Rumbar Pirates. This is effect on play. If your opponent has a character with a cost of 0, this character gains rush during this turn. Okay, you know, we'll take that. Maybe this would go in like a Kairos style deck, you know, because if you're just reducing characters, you know, cost to 0, you can play this guy to get him rush for the turn to swing in for 5 if you attach a Dawn, and then you can KO something with your leader's effect. So yeah, this is just a solid card, not bad. Okay, is this like an alt art? No, this is a different card. Sorry, this is a different card. 3 costs, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter. Straw Hat Crew, on play and when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 0. Okay, that's not bad. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn, then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. So as long as you have other ways to reduce cost, this card could be pretty solid. Like maybe you have Kuzan in the deck, or maybe you have like, you know, Great Eruptions or Ice Ages, and then you can just start KOing stuff on play and when attacking. So they have to deal with this card or else he's a nuisance. This is something I do like that they're doing, this on play / when attacking. That I'm a big fan of, because it's unfortunate when you get a card down and then it loses so much of its value. Like the on play effect was strong, but then it doesn't have anything else that it offers. It's just like a vanilla body. So I am a big fan of this when attacking. Okay. Oh, and here's the parallel version of it. This looks absolutely incredible. Very awesome art there. Big fan of this art. Big fan of this art. If I were someone who collected alt arts, like if I was someone who like ran alt arts in my deck, this would be a must-have for me. I would almost have to fit this in like whatever deck I'm playing because it's so cool. Okay, Laboon. 2 costs, 4,000 power, black, animal type. Effect once per turn. When a character is KO'd, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, I mean, you know, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I don't know how else to say it. Once per turn, when a character's KO, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. So this is one of those situations where it's like, why would I ever need this? Why would I include this in my deck when, first of all, it's very easy to remove. It's a 2-cost 4K. That's very easy to remove. And second of all, this effect, you know, it already costs so much to try to like KO something when you're running a black deck. I don't know. I don't see it, guys. I'm not sure. Okay, these are 2 different cards here. So 4 costs, 5,000 power Laboon. This is a 1K counter. Yeah, this one didn't have a 1K counter with this effect. I almost said with how bad it was, but with that effect, I don't like to say how bad a card is because it might be really good, especially in the future. Something might activate this card and make it so strong. But anyway, moving on to this one. This is a 4 cost 5K with a 1K counter animal. The art is really cool on this one. Activate main, you may rest this character, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. Okay, see, now that is nice. That I like. First of all, it's a 4 cost 5K 1K counter. I can deal with that right away. That's already fine by my standards. And then activate main -4 cost. It does kind of stinks. You have to rest the character, so you don't even get to attack with it. But at the same time, if you're leaving this on the board, you're leaving a serious threat on the board that they do have to deal with. So overall, I do like this card. Not bad. Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome parallel alternate art card here. Big fan of these colors in the background. Very like soft pinks and yellows and oranges. This just looks great. This just looks great. I'm not going to lie. Really nice. I love the water too. Like, look at that water. It's like it was like sea foam or some kind of teal. This looks great. Okay, next up, T-Bone. 5 cost, 5,000 power, 2,000 counter. Nice. This is like, I went on an entire rant, the part 1 of this little series or whatever, talking about how I love this stat line. This is my absolute favorite stat line in the game for a card because it's such a middle-of-the-road card at 5 cost. It has 5,000 power, which is the standard you need to attack most characters, or excuse me, most leaders. And then 2,000 counter built in. So nice. Let's see what it does. So it's a Water 7/Navy card. Okay, interesting. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Okay, I mean, that's really not bad. Especially if you went turn 2, drop this. You can turn 3, you know, KO a 6 or less with something like this. I'm a big fan. And then it's a 2K counter for the rest of the game if you need it, or a 5+5K on the board. Yeah, big fan. Really big fan of this card. Really nice. Wow, check this. Was this... I thought they normally only give alternate art cards to the secret rarities, but check that out, man. That is super cool. I like that alt art. Very nice. Very gloomy, very dark. Big fan. Okay, we've got an event here. I Want to Live. We got a 3-cost black Straw Hat Crew event counter. If you have 30 or more cards in your trash, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Okay. So I remember this card now. I think I even did a video talking about it. I'm not a huge fan of this card. It doesn't seem very possible to pull off unless you're running maybe Dressrosa or something along those lines. Maybe the new Lucci, which unfortunately we're not going to talk about, guys. spoiler warning. But there is a new Lucci leader coming out in OP-07 that maybe this card can get some kind of play from. But, you know, currently at the time of recording this, it's nearly impossible to get 30 or more cards in your trash with whatever deck you're running. It doesn't matter what deck you're running. Sakazuki might be able to get that if the game goes on for long enough, which is good. You know, that's not a bad thing, but is that really the deck we want to give extra life gain to? You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where maybe not. And by the way, even Sakazuki, I think, would struggle getting 30 or more cards in their trash because they're refilling their trash with cards like... First of all, they're getting cards out of their trash with cards like Rebecca, and second, and Manshri. And then Manshri not only is getting cards out of the trash, but it's also putting cards from the bottom of the deck, or excuse me, from the trash to the bottom of the deck. And same thing with Rob Lucci. So this is actually a much harder counter to pull off than you might think. Very, very hard to pull off. Okay. But hey, if you can find a deck that sits around 30 cards in your trash, this is incredible, right? Pay 3, gain a life. Very solid. Okay, next up we got Finger Pistol. This is a 4-cost event, CP9, main. You may trash 2 cards from the top of your deck and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. So, yeah, this is a 4-cost KO of 5 or less. And it fills up your trash. So, yeah, this is excellent. I'm a big fan of this, like especially, like I said, in like either the new Rob Lucci deck coming out in the, you know, kind of the distant future at this point, or even like Dressrosa. I think this is solid, and it's probably not even that bad even in Navy, guys. I know that sounds crazy, like in Sakazuki, but they probably don't need it or even have the space for it. Okay, next up, all right, we're in yellow now. Viola. This is a 2-cost, 1,000 counter, 0 power. So it's a 0 power, 1,000 counter yellow Dressrosa character. And it is a blocker that has on play, choose one. So you have a choice. Look at all of your opponent's life cards and place them back in their life area in any order. So you get to arrange the order of them. And then, or you could turn all of your life cards face down. So this obviously goes with the leader effect, Kairos here, where you're KOing characters that are 0 cost and flipping a card up in your life. That's obviously what that's for, right? Which you know, that's fine. I think the card's fine. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not against it or you know, I'm not really for it or against it. I think it's a good utility card because at the end of the day, it is a 2-cost 0 power blocker. It's just a 2-cost blocker, which has great utility and then has a 1K counter. Yeah, solid card. Wow, check out that alt art. That alt art is really cool. Love these colors here too. Like what is that? Like some kind of rose or magenta, deep pink. You know, the neon pinks in there. This is awesome. Looks great. Okay, next up we got Gastino. Check out this picture. So this is a 3 cost 5K. Again, I was just saying about it earlier. I love seeing the 3 cost 5Ks. Let's see what this does. This is a yellow scientist type card. Okay. Effect on play, place up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less at the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. All right, let me read that one more time. On play, place up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less at the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. So this is like the more aggressive version of Pound, which I did like the Pound card, but it was so easy to play around. This, like your opponent could play around it, I'm saying. This card, not so much. They don't know it's coming, and it's not just going to sit on the board as a 3 cost 3K. Now, yes, Pound did have a blocker, so that did give you some utility, but I like this card quite a bit more, actually. And it has a trigger as well. So the trigger is give up to a total of 2 of your opponent's leader or character cards -3 power during this turn. So it has Hell's Judgment baked into the trigger. This is a nice card, guys. I'm a big fan of this card. I think it's going to be really nice. This is probably a really good card in black-yellow. Just to be, I know that I don't mean to talk about that all the time, but I mean, you guys got to admit, this card looks pretty good in a deck like that. Very solid. Next up, we have Ganfall. This is a 3 cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, Sky Island blocker with on play. If your opponent has 1 or less life cards, interesting, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 3 or less. Wow. I'm a big fan of this art, by the way. Got the awesome beard and, you know, the mustache here and the beard and everything. And this spear, it's like he's about to destroy this 3 cost or less, right? Like that's a really cool picture. Very effective picture. Like it really kind of gets the point across of the card's effect. You know, ultimately, I think this is a solid card as well. But the thing is, if your opponent has 1 or less life cards, that's kind of a weird stipulation. You know, it's like, it almost becomes a win more card at that point, but not literally. But think about it. On turn 3, when you have 3 Dawn, like turn 2 or turn 3, whatever, you don't want to play this card, right? It's a 3 cost 4K, 1K counter. It's very much understated. It would almost be better as a 3 cost 5K with no counter, but I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Not a huge fan, though. Next up is Charlotte Compote? I have no idea how to say that, guys. I'm sorry. But this is a 7 cost, 9,000 power, 1K counter, Big Mom Pirates, vanilla character. Absolutely solid, guys. Absolutely solid card here. Next up, Charlotte Flampy. 1 cost, 1,000 power, 2,000 counter, Big Mom Pirates on play. Now, I do know what this card does. I'm sorry, guys. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand and draw 1 card. I think this card is incredible. I'm a huge fan of this, especially in black-yellow. Like, I think this card's excellent. I think it's outstanding. It's first of all, it's a 2,000 counter. It's a 2K counter, right? Early on, though, if you're playing against like a more starve heavy deck, okay, you just play this card out to you know, add the top card of your life to your hand, and then you can draw a card. And guys, this is Big Mom Pirates type. So in Katakuri, this card is insane. Because like, think about it. If you have 2, let's just say it's turn 1, right? Let's just say it's, or excuse me, turn 2, where we're on the play. So we have 3 Dawn. We can like swing for 8 at their leader, right? Like literally swing 8 on turn 2 while playing this card, because we can look at our top card to make sure it's not something we want to, you know, get rid of. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but I think this is like an outstanding 2K counter for yellow. Excellent. Oh, wow. And it has an alt art. So this is just like that T-Bone card we're looking at. This is a rare that has an alt art. Man, check that out. That is awesome. Really cool looking alt art card for this. Awesome. Shirahoshi. We got a 2 cost, 0 power, 1,000 counter blocker with the effect of when this character is KO'd by your opponent's effect, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So in other words, this, well, see, it's already still not good because it can get Hound Blazed right off the board. Bottom decking is such a serious issue. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go on a rant, guys, but I'm sorry. It kind of like defeats the purpose of incredibly powerful or potentially incredibly powerful cards like this one. It's still not bad, though. It's still not a bad card. It's a Merfolk. It's when this character is KO'd by your opponent's effect. So in other words, you can't block with it to activate this. It has to be by an effect like, you know, a KO effect. But if they do try to KO this, you can add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So, in other words, if it weren't for bottom decking, bottom decking characters, this card right here would ensure that your opponent can't really like play around your blocker. But then now I'm actually starting to think about it. They can still tap her down, if it's a yellow deck, or with 200 million volts of Maru, or green has plenty of ways to tap it down. Blue can bounce. I don't know. I like the concept, but they've made so many ways to get around this clause right here that it kind of hurts it before it's even made, before it even hits the field, or before it even sees play, kind of thing. Okay, and then we got a parallel version of it. That's pretty cool. I like the standard, or the regular art a little better. Not bad though. Then we got Mont Blanc Cricket. This is a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 1,000 counter. Excuse me, guys. Yellow Monkey Mountain Alliance character that has effect Dawn ×1 your turn. If you have 2 or less life cards, this character gains plus 2,000 power. Okay, so if you have 2 or less life cards and you attach 1 Dawn, he becomes a 2-cost 6K. And it still has a 1K counter. Yeah, I think this card's solid. Nothing too much to talk about, guys, on this one. I just think it's a solid card. It has, a little bit of a stipulation to it, but not too much to talk about. The conditional... I'll say one more thing. I say not much to talk about, and then I talk about it, right? Cards with conditional effects like this are always just very middle of the road, where it's like either A, they're incredible in the situation, or B, they're horrible because you're not meeting the effect parameters or whatever. So next up we have Kingdom Come. This is a 6-cost yellow Sky Island type event with the effect is main KO up to one of your opponent's characters, period. Okay, no cost restriction. Then trash cards from the top of your life until you have 1 life card. Well, I'll tell you what, in black-yellow, this is pretty nice. In black-yellow, this is pretty nice because we can play this for 6 to KO whatever character we want. And we're already at 1 life most of the time, or 0. And so we don't have to, so in other words, we don't have to trash any cards from our life. And then we can use our leader effect to gain a life. Big fan of this one. Okay, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total of your and your opponent's life cards. So it has Yamato's effect for the trigger. This card's great. Really good card. I could see this as like a really strong 1 or 2 of in black-yellow Linlin. Really nice. Okay, next up we have Did Someone Say Kami? 4-cost yellow Sky Island main effect. This is an event, of course. Play up to 1 Enel with a cost of 7 or less from your hand or trash. Then trash cards from the top of your life cards until you have 1 life card. Play up to 1 Enel with a cost of 7 or less from your hand or trash. Wow, that's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, this is very interesting to me. This kind of plays into a black-yellow theme. Guys, I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, like all I see is black and yellow, but think about it, guys. If you're running like Sabos, if you're running ways to trash cards, with effects that a lot of the black cards use, and you get a 7-cost in your trash, you can pay 4 to play out a 7-cost? It seems good. And a lot of people might be thinking like, yeah, but then trash cards at the top of your life until you're down to 1. Well, yeah, that's where we kind of stay at. And this is only 4 costs. We could play this, gain a life, and have 2 Dawn left over. Really solid. Really interesting. Trigger, draw 2, and trash 1 from your hand. Yep, we'll take that every time. This seems like a really cool event that I want to mess with in the future. Really solid. Okay, next up we have Mr. 2 Bon Curé Bentham. This is a 4-cost, 1,000 power, 1,000 counter, purple, former Baroque works. Effect is on play, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So this is a 4-cost ramp, okay? And then let's see, it has a when attacking. Select up to one of your opponent's characters. This character's base power becomes the same as the selected character's power during this turn. Interesting. So select up to one of your opponent's characters. This character's base power becomes the same as the selected character's power during this turn. So the reason it's your base power is that way you can attach Dawn and you can attack into their character to KO it. That's kind of the idea there. Okay, let me see real quick though. Select up to one of your opponent's characters. So you don't even have to attack their character. You're just attacking, choose wherever you want to attack, and then you're going to select up to one of your opponent's characters. This character's base power becomes the same as the selected character's power during this turn. So if they have a 12k down, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll be able to use this. You'll be able to win attacking, make this character's power a 12k, and then swing like that. Very solid. This card seems really good. Okay, and then we have a Mr. 2 Bon Curé Bentham Parallel. Okay, so I take it... So, y'all know I do not watch, well, most people know I don't watch the anime or read the manga or anything like this. I'm assuming this character is some type of shapeshifter. Because this is, I believe this is Nami. So that's the impression I get there. Very cool, but this is just the exact same card we were looking at. And then, yeah, this goes back to the beginning. Well, guys, that's it. That's it for the EV set. This is like a nice little set coming out. You know, coming out in the, you know, distant future. I think it's coming out in about 4 to 5 months for us over here in the West. And I think it just hit in the East. But there were a lot of really cool cards. And I'll at least tell you all the cards I thought were amazing for the purple, black, and yellow cards we just went over. Because I kind of did the same thing for red, green, and blue. These 3 cost 4Ks, even the one we saw, you know, the chopper one we saw in part 1, these have been pretty solid. This is a pretty solid 3 cost 4K blocker with 1K counter and a relevant effect. Big fan of that. Interesting support we've seen from the Galila Water 7 type stuff here. Even though this isn't Galila, it does have some of the same ideas going on. This card was outstanding. The Ragnaraku, the Conqueror of 3 Worlds, is awesome. This and the yellow one. This yellow one might just be insane. Just straight up 6 costs, KO anything in the game, and then you go down to 1 life. And it looks like they kind of... Yeah, they gave a KO. Did they give a KO to every single color? Let me check something real quick. Yeah, now this is a counter version, but KO 6,000 power. Let's see if green got one. Green got, no, top of range and movement. Green did not get a KO event, and blue didn't either, but blue got, they got that card that bounced, didn't they? Yeah, this card can bounce an 8 or less, or a 4. No, this one return up to 1 of your characters. Oh, actually, reveal 1 card from the never mind. This one was super confusing. I'm not even about to get into that one. I talked about that in the first video, or part 1. But yeah, there's some really good cards coming out, guys. Really, really interesting things going on. I can't wait to try this in my Rebecca deck. Scarlet is just built for Dressrosa. This card's going to be outstanding. If CP does ever take off, this card can potentially be insane in a deck like that. This black-yellow leader is going to be a lot of fun to mess around with. Those are my 2 main colors. Viola has great utility. This card's interesting. I'm still not sure how I feel about this. Like, maybe this card would be really good in Isho, like black-green Isho. I'm not sure. Love these 5 cost 2K counters. I will go back to that real quick because red got one as well. 5 costs, 5K, 5,000 power, 2K counter. Activate main, give up to 1 Rest of Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Absolutely love that. And the black one's not bad either. The black one KOs a 2 or less on play. Huge fan. Really good stuff there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to these coming out. Right, guys, that's it. Let me leave it on like this awesome alt-art Kairos. That's about all, guys, for today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to hear what y'all have to say about this stuff coming out in the future. Like, what do y'all think? Are there any leaders you're really looking forward to? Are there any cards you're looking forward to add to decks? Because I know, like I said, purple-yellow Crocodile, Showtime Croc, got some decent stuff. I wanted to leave it on this one, but this, I feel like this blocker alone might help activate purple-yellow Croc in a lot of good ways. You know, on top of a few other things, maybe even this, making it a little more aggressive. But yeah, sky's the limits for that stuff. The more, that too, guys, the more support each leader gets over time, the stronger they can potentially get, which should diversify the meta just inherently, right? It should just, by default, it should diversify the meta, as long as one deck does not become broken from having too many like new answers, right? So, all right, that's about it, guys. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope y'all enjoyed, and until next time, peace.